Welcome to One Up Boys with CR here. Today we have another character that has actually ended up technically being two. She was originally a side character who ended up with a much bigger role later in the series. An adopted daughter of Raphael, who later becomes a malfested vampire because of him, to losing her memories completely and taking on an entirely different life. This is the history of Amy and Viola. How she was created. Amy was created by Ayata Kamura and Takuji Kawano as a side character for Raphael for Soulcalibur 2 in 2002. She wasn't introduced as a playable character until Soulcalibur 3, where she was an unlockable bonus character. Originally, her model was just being reused as a debug character in 3 so the developers could test some stuff in the game, as well as appearing in a late Raphael cutscene. They eventually decided to fully implement her into the game due to liking her design and the fact that they had some extra time after finishing the game. Her further implementation into Soulcalibur 4 had to do with the game director Daishi Odashima, who stated that he liked weaker characters being one of his 3 favorite characters in the entire game. This then leads to the 17 or so year skip to the 5th game with Viola, who was an amnesiac, confirmed to be a transformed Amy in 6. Apparently she was going to be a much more important character, but time restraints really diminished the scope they set out for. Amy and Viola's look. Right from the get-go, they went for the gothic Lolita theme, due to Amy possibly being the youngest character, also being the shortest character in the series. In the game, as mentioned in Raphael's Soulcalibur 2 profile, she was less than 10, with Soulcalibur 3 only taking place a couple years later. She could also be sort of an emulation of Raphael, as she is his foster daughter. Her outfit does still change a bit between each main installment that she's in. 4 gives her a nice fluffy kind of coat, and 6 gives her a more flowery type of outfit. Then we have Viola, who honestly isn't much different besides her hair color and how she attacks, even melding a lot more with the flower theming. Personality. Amy only got 2 lines of dialogue in the 3rd game, so most characterization comes from 4 and 6. Overall though, she bears a pretty calm and collected mentality, though she does have a sort of arrogance to the people who go up against her. She is fairly kind though to the people she cares about, especially since there aren't many. Viola, on the other hand, is a rather cold person who doesn't really care about anyone, possibly due to being able to see into the future, as she might already know their fate. Sadly, while she can peer into other souls, she is unable to look into her own. Through her dark outlook on life, coupled with her uncaring for others, as well as people fearing fortune tellers, she is basically shunned by society, inadvertently living her life as an orphan once again, only finding solace with a kindred spirit, Zwei, who is also shunned for his powers. Abilities. Amy shares the same fighting style and weapon, a rapier, as Raphael, though she puts her own spin on many of the attacks. She doesn't really get some of the more malfested moves as Raphael though. Her transformation in Viola, however, completely changes how she fights, instead using a metal claw and a magical crystal ball that she can move variously in the air and smash it into the opponent for some heavy damage. Her critical edge itself revolves around the crystal ball, sucking people to it almost like a magnet and allowing for some free hits while also providing minor damage of its own. Games she's been in. She first appears in Soulcalibur 2 for GameCube, Xbox, and PS2 in 2002. Her first playable appearance is as an unlockable in Soulcalibur 3 in 2005 for PS2, followed by Soulcalibur 4 in 2008 for PS3 and Xbox 360. Soulcal Broken Destiny for PSP in 2009. 2012 had Soulcal 5 for Xbox 360 and PS3, where she became Viola. 2014 had Lost Swords for PSN. And finally for PS4 and Xbox One in 2018 we had Soulcal 6. Voice actors. Amy and Viola have 3 voice actors among them, which 2 of them are the same, which is one of the reasons why people speculated they were the same character before it was confirmed. Amy's first VA was Hanako Tateno in Soulcalibur 3, also known for Korrin in Tales of Symphonia, Kunon in Summon Night 3 and 4, and Natsumi in Disaster Report. Her second Japanese VA, first shared with Viola, is Hitomi Nabatame in Soulcalibur 4 to 6. Some voices she's known for are Ryu in The World Ends With You, Katria in the Fire Emblem series, and Uncho in Iki Tosen. Her only English VA is Heather Hogan Watson and has been since the third game. Her other roles have been Kokoro in Dead or Alive, Shiki in The World Ends With You, and Colette in Tales of Symphonia. I didn't really keep up with fighting games, so I ended up actually learning about this character through Soulcalibur 6, but I was instantly intrigued to learn, well, for one, Raphael was kind of a good dude, and two, that I really liked her playstyle. Going through her story added some nice tidbits to learning about Raphael as well, but as a standalone, she fit in well with the rest of the cast, who fight for what they believe in with, I feel, Viola, pushing her further into being her own character. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next video.